إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله تعالى من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وحبيبه، أدى الأمانة وبلغ الرسالة ونصح الأمة وكشف الله به الغمة وجاهد في الله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين. أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome to Ramadanul KHAYR, the month of Ramadan, the month full of goodness, the month full of barakah, rahmah. All the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descends. Now, it comes to mind the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When the first night of Ramadan comes, this is not the first night, but when the first night of Ramadan comes, now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chains all the shayateen, wa maradatul jinn, and all the mischievous jinns. Now, and the doors of Jahannam are closed. All the doors of Jahannam are closed. And all the doors of Jannah are opened. And an announcer, an angel makes a proclamation. He proclaims, Ya baghi al-khayr, aqbil. O you who desire to do good, proceed, come forward. Do those deeds that will bring you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do more deeds in this month of Ramadan. Wa ya baghi shar aqsir. And all you who intend to do evil, stop doing evil. This is a month of Ramadan, the month in which we need to train our hearts to get accustomed, to get used to good deeds that after the month of Ramadan is gone, inshallah will carry on with the same spirit of doing good deeds, deeds that brings us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and deeds that will please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So our topic inshallah for today will be speaking about controlling the tongue, especially when we are fasting. If you are fasting, stay away from speaking lies. If you are fasting, stay away from backbiting, speaking evil about other people. When you are fasting, protect your tongue. Allahu Akbar. Hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He says, whenever a person gets up in the morning, all his limbs of the body, they implore, they humble themselves to the tongue. And they say to the tongue, you should be straight. Now, فَإِنَّا نَحْنُ بِكَ, we depend on you. إِذَا اسْتَقَمْتَ اسْتَقَمْنَا وَإِذَا عَوَجَجْتَ اعْوَجَجْنَا. They all ask and beg the tongue to be straight, and they say to the tongue, we depend on you. If you are straight and if you are pure, if you are correct, we'll also be straight, we'll be pure, we'll be correct. But if you are crooked, we'll also follow you in the in becoming crooked. Now, the tongue can bring people together, and this same tongue can bring disunity in the community. Now, it's like I will give you an example. You see a needle. A needle can bring two pieces of clothes together. Now, two pieces that were separate, bring them together by knitting, using a needle with a cotton, to sew the cloth. So you are bring two pieces together. Similarly, the tongue can bring two people together. Two people that were fighting, then you sit down with them, you give them, advice, you advise them, you make sulah, you bring them together. This tongue, you can use it to bring, unity amongst the people. But the same tongue can be used like a scissor. A scissor, when you take a scissor, you cut, a cloth. What happened? You are dividing the cloth into two pieces. So similarly, the tongue can disunite the community. This tongue can bring about a divorce between a husband and wife. Now, it can bring disunity between two brothers, between two sisters, between two families, between two countries, between two tribes. This tongue is small, but it can cause big damages. So we are in the month of Ramadan. It's very easy for us to learn how to control our tongues. Now, otherwise, our fasting will be affected as well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ, that successful people are the believers. الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ, those who are humble, who humble themselves in their salah. They perform their salah with khushu', with so much humility. Now, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنِ اللَّغْوِ مُعْرِضُونَ, those who turn away from idle talk. Allahu Akbar. Now, they come, they find a group of people that they engage in backbiting. They stay away. You stay away from that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gives you good news to say you are successful person, or you will be successful person. If you have iman, now, and you perform your salah with khushu', with humility, with humbleness, and you turn away from idle talk. Someone comes and he wants to argue with you, especially now in the month of Ramadan. Now, you just say to him, you know what, I'm fasting. Now, I am fasting. I don't want to break my fast. I don't want to spoil my fast. You walk away from dispute. Allahu Akbar. That does not make you a loser. It makes you a winner. Why? Because you are able to hold yourself. You are able to suppress your anger. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْضَ وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ وَاللَّهُ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظَ, those who suppress their anger. Now, غَيْظ, there is a difference between غَضَبُ and غَيْظٌ. Al-ghadabu wal-ghaydu, there is a difference between the two. Al-ghadabu, if you hear, if somebody says, huwa ghadbanun, he is angry. Ana ghadbanun, I am angry. Yeah. So ghadab is the, I can say, the last level of anger. The person is already angry. Now, that is ghadabun. But ghaydun is the starting point, the beginning of anger. The person is starting to get angry. Now, if he suppresses his anger, he holds himself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Wallahu yuhibbul muhsinin. Allah loves the good doers. So you are doing something good. So now you are fasting in the month of Ramadan. Now your colleague at work or your friend, your colleague at school come and starts, provoking you. The only thing you can do is to stay away, to avoid, arguments, to avoid fighting, to avoid swearing. Why? Because that can affect, your fasting. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about successful people being those who have iman, those who perform their salah with khushu, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنِ اللَّغْوِ مُعْرِضُونَ, those who turn away from idle talk. Now, they don't talk for the sake of talking. They think before they talk. Now, they select the best words. They don't want to offend anybody. وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in the Quran, وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. Say beautiful words and kind words to the people. Now, say words that will bring people to closer to you. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Bashiru wala tunaffiru. Now, yassiru wala tu'assiru. Give good news to the people. Now, don't cause people to run away from you. Make things easy. Make life easy for the people. Don't make life difficult for the people. Remember this Bedouin who was in the company of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the masjid, and he felt like releasing himself, helping himself, going to the toilet. He stood up right in one of the corners of the masjid. He relieved himself. He helped himself right there in the masjid. The Sahaba of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who had the knowledge of the status of a masjid, that it's a house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's a place of ibadah, they became angry. They stood up. They wanted to solve him. They wanted to use force on him. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, who was rahmatan lil alameen, he said to the Sahaba, Da'uhu, leave him, let him finish. وَأَرِيقُوا عَلَى بَوْلِهِ دَلْوًا أَوْ ذَنُوبًا مِّن مَاءٍ, and pour with water, clean the place where he have messed. Take a bucket of water and clean the place where he has messed. Allahu Akbar. إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُمْ مُيَسِّرِينَ وَلَمْ تُبْعَثُوا مُعَسِّرِينَ. You have been sent, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen you to make things easy, not to make things difficult on people. Now, so in this month of Ramadan also, we need to have a lot of sabr. We need to have a lot of patience. We need to have a lot of tolerance. Now, we should be able to protect our tongues. We should select our words. We must know what we say. Now, we should not just say what comes to the mind. We should select the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, so there's so many ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam speaking about, protecting the tongue, and there's so many verses in the Holy Quran. But, time does not allow us to speak more about this. But my advice to myself and you and to all those who are following our program, we should protect our tongue. We should use our tongue to unite the people, to bring the people together. We should not use our tongue to cause division, to separate between husband and wife, to separate between two brothers. We should use this small piece of flesh, inshallah, for something that will please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We come to the end of our program, inshallah, until we meet again tomorrow, same place, same time, inshallah. I leave you with a beautiful greeting of peace, the greeting of Jannah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.